Hi everyone and welcome back to another video review and tutorial from me, Natasha Lee. Today I have got something very new and very interesting to try out, and I've been sent these, which are Gel 2. Very interesting. Now Gel 2 I first saw advertised earlier this year in Scratch magazine, and it grasped my attention because it's a two-stage polish as opposed to a three-stage gel polish that's cured in LED or UV. What I mean by that is there's no base coat to it. Once you've done your cuticle work and cleansed your nails, you can go straight in with your colour coat, just 2 layers of colour coat and then your top coat. So that really grasped my attention. Now some people will know about me, but I am a trained CND shellac tech and grandmaster with CND. That was my choice and it was a brand I chose to go with originally. It's a brand that I have a lot of faith in, obviously, because I've spent a lot of money doing all the right courses. It's what I stock in my salon, and I also have won the CND Shellac Power Polish of the Year Award 2013, and I've been a CND Shellac Education Ambassador. So for me to try out a different brand of gel polish was a huge deal, but I really wanted to give it a go, and I wanted to be as honest as possible about that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my cuticle work as I would do normally, cleanse my nails and apply my Gel 2. Now normally my shellac, because I do have quite damaged nails, only tends to last me about 4 to 5 days before it chips and lifts. My clients get far longer, but on me personally I'm a bit naughty with my nails, so they're quite damaged. And at the moment I'm growing that damage out, so what I thought would be quite a good idea is if I apply it today, I'll talk you through the process, I'll give you my first impressions on the product, and then I'll come back to you with an update in about 4 to 5 days time, because that's the point where my shellac personally would normally fail, and then I can do a direct comparison for you of how the product lasts on me as someone with more challenged nails. Now a little bit more about this collection. These are 3 colours from the Foggy London collection, and we've got My Fair Lady, Foggy Day and Royal Navy. It also comes included with a Shine Extreme top coat. This is just like, I think it's like a starter pack, like a bit of a taster pack, because it comes with the top coat. There are more colours to the new Foggy London range, and there's a few in there I can't remember the name of now, but I really like the look of them. They're colours that are just aren't available in CND Shellac. But what I'm going to be doing for the video is Foggy Day, because it's a sort of grey with a pink shimmer to it, and I think it's really pretty and it's away from the norm of what I would wear, which would be nudes. If you do have any questions at all, by all means feel free to pop them in the comment section down below, and I'll do my best to answer them. If I don't know the answers straight away, if it's something particular to Gel 2, then I can get hold of the manufacturers of Gel 2 and some of the ambassadors and ask some questions for you. But I hope you enjoy the video and let me know what you think. So here we have the 3 colours that I've been sent to trial. I've got My Fair Lady, Royal Navy and Foggy Day. Now My Fair Lady and Royal Navy are true creams in the sense there's no shimmer to them, and Foggy Day is a little bit different. Now this is the one that intrigues me the most because of all the images I've seen online of it. I'm going to see if I can actually capture the essence of this. Yeah, there we go. Foggy Day is like a beautiful grey cloud with a shimmer of pink through it. My Fair Lady is a slightly orangey red in some respects, and it has quite a good coverage on it. And Royal Navy is a very deep navy blue. Now for my tutorial and review, I'm going to use Foggy Day just because it's a colour that's really intrigued me. It's one of those that I think it has to be seen on to truly appreciate just how beautiful it is, and because I'm a bit of a sucker for anything with a bit of sparkle really. So let's get on with the review and the application. Now once you've performed your cuticle work, you need to cleanse the nail prior to application. For this it's recommended that you use the Gel 2 cleanser, but I don't have any of that available to me at the moment, so I'm going to be using my CND Scrub Fresh. Just to apologise for my middle finger here, but I had a little accident today and broke the tip off my nail, so I've just done a little build up to repair. So once all of your nails are cleansed and dehydrated, you're ready to go in with your polish. Now this is the wonderful thing about Gel 2. Gel 2 is a two-stage polish, so there is no need to apply a base coat to it. So I'm going to be applying Foggy Day, and what you need to do with this is, instead of shaking the bottle, you need to just roll it gently between your hands. Don't go shaking it, because if you shake it, it can put bubbles into it and cause shrinkage back from the free edge. Just a nice gentle roll. And then I'm just going to show you what the consistency looks like. Now, I describe this as a really creamy polish to use. It's very intuitive. You don't find that it bleeds at all into the lateral folds. As you can probably see there, it's not thick, but it's not thin and runny. Okay, so I'm ready to apply. And as you would with any polish, apply away from the cuticle area, push back, draw down, sweep down the side, sweep down the other side, and cap that free edge. And we're going to do this to all of the nails. Now, just so you can get a closer look at this, I'm going to show you how it applies close up. You will have to accept my apologies for my poorly nails. I'm growing some damage out on them at the moment, and I'm due to IBX them. You can see on the brush I haven't got a particularly large amount, so I'm going to apply that just away from the cuticle area, push back and pull down, and the same down the sides. Now, first impressions of applying this polish are that it is wonderfully intuitive. There's no seepage or leaking into the lateral folds on the nail. It's just staying where I put it. It's wonderfully creamy. It feels very sort of rich when you apply it on. And you can see it's just sitting there. Now that I've applied my first coat to all of the nails, I'm ready to cure. Now, if you have a Gel 2 lamp, then it's 30 seconds curing in the Gel 2 LED lamp. I don't, however, so in my CND UV lamp I'm going to be curing it for 2 minutes. So that's our first coat cured. I'm ready to go in with our second coat. Now, just to say that Foggy Day is a sort of semi-opaque coverage, and I'm going to leave it as that. I suppose if you wanted to get a fully opaque coverage, you could go to 3 coats of it. I actually can't get over how easy this polish is to use. It's so easy to apply. It goes exactly where you want it to go. And it's got a really beautiful feel and consistency to it, and the gloss is fantastic, and that's even without the top coat. So the question you're all wanting to ask, what do I think of it compared to CND Shellac? Well, on first impressions, and this is my first impression, obviously because I've only just got the selection of the 3 colours, so I'd need to try out a few more to have a definitive reply, but on first impressions I do much prefer it. I prefer the application, I prefer the gloss to it. I think it's just because recently I've noticed a change from a few years ago with my CND Shellacs, that the colours appear to have got thinner, and with that sometimes you're needing to apply more than 2 coats. I know there's some dispute over that, but the fact is you are needing to apply more than 2 coats on certain colours to get them fully opaque, but the problem still lies with the fact that they've gone so thin that I have noticed, even when I go super thin applying on people's nails, on clients, that when I've popped hands into the lamp, if they've turned their hands slightly, then the CND Shellac has pulled into those lateral folds. So before I continue talking, I'm just going to pop these in the lamp and cure for 2 minutes. So I've just cured that second colour coat now, and I'm going to go in with my Shine Extreme top coat from Gel 2. We're going to apply this nice and thinly and cover the whole area of where you've applied your colour. Another aspect of Gel 2 that does appeal to me is that the top coat is acetone resistant. I have to wear gloves with my clients to try and preserve my shellac for as long as possible. Even so, only once have I ever managed to get 14 days from it on my own nails personally. Now, I do have very brittle nails. My average normally without chipping or lifting is 4 to 5 days. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to film this tutorial now and review and upload it for you on my blog, And then in about 4 or 5 days I'll come back and I'll give you a little update. And as soon as I get the first chip, I'll probably do another video then just to show you what's happened and how it's chipped. And that's presuming that it does. However, the reviews I've heard are very, very positive, that it seems to last an awful lot longer for certain clients than CND shellac does. So I would probably be one of those problem clients, as I do have rather challenged nails. Also, these are my first impressions. I would obviously need to live with the polish for a little bit, to try it out in the salon, see the feedback from clients and things like that, see if it thickens in the bottle, any of those sort of things. What I've heard back from other techs is they don't have any problems with any of those issues, but obviously for me to give an honest review, I'd like to see how that goes in a couple of weeks. But first impressions are I'm very, very impressed with Gel 2. You can see this has got a real beautiful gloss on the top coat. So I'm just going to pop these into the lamp and then I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about the product. Now that my Gel 2 Shine Extreme top coat has been cured in my UV lamp for 2 minutes, remember if you're using a Gel 2 LED lamp it would only be 30 seconds. I'm going to remove that sticky top film. So taking a pad, either dampened with Gel 2 cleanser, or as I don't have any I'm using my scrub brush. Just go over. Now you could use isopropyl alcohol if you prefer, you don't have to though because this top coat is acetone resistant. So there we are, that's all of our nails cleansed, and then I've used some cuticle oil. So just to show you the shine on these, it is pretty super actually. I'm surprised how good the shine actually is. So what about Gel 2 in relation to other gel polishes? Well, obviously I am a CND shellac tech originally and previously a CND shellac education ambassador. Now in relation to the other brands of gel polish, my experiences are quite limited in the fact that I've only ever really used CND shellac and I have a little experience of gelish. With regards to Gel 2, it is thicker than both shellac and gelish when you apply it, but it's thicker in a creamy way, not in a difficult to manage way. It's still very easy to manage, and it makes it a lot easier painting it into place. It's also pretty much foolproof in the application. Now, CND shellac is pretty easy to apply as well, in all honesty with you. There are a few tips and techniques that you need to be aware of, just to avoid things like wrinkling and shrinkage. And the same again goes for gelish, but I didn't find that I had to be concerned about overly thinking those with the Gel 2. Now obviously this is just the application stage. I'll need to try the product out for a couple of weeks to be able to come back to you and say definitively. But on first impressions it's far easier to apply than CND shellac and gelish. So if you use either of those brands, I'd say it's worth trying out a trial pack of Gel 2 and see how you feel. It is different. It is a thicker polish, but I feel that thicker probably isn't the right word to use because that would suggest it's difficult to manage, and it's not. In relation to bottle sizes for costings, the CND shellac bottle is 7.3ml. The Gel 2 bottle is just under double the size of the CND shellac bottle because it's 14ml. And gelish is 1ml bigger than the Gel 2 bottle at 15ml. With regards to the colour accuracy of the bottles, obviously with CND shellac it's quite notorious that the colour that's on the sleeve can be very different to what's in the bottle, and that's why most techs like myself tend to have a range of nail pops to be able to show to clients as opposed to them looking at the bottle. With gelish you have the patent pending little window that gives you an idea of the colour, and that's pretty clever. But sometimes I've found it's not quite 100%, even though it is the actual colour that's painted on it. I think the shadows can affect the way it looks, and it can come out a lot brighter than it does in the little window, but I love this because it's quite funky. But with the Gel 2, I do find that the colour on the sticker is pretty accurate. Now the only thing missing on this one is the pink shimmer in it, but if I was to show you the other Gel 2 bottles and the pops next to the stickers, I'm quite impressed at how close they have got these colours. And they have done a really good job of that. So the colour that's on the bottle is pretty much accurate as to what's in the bottle, which is something of a relief, that you know that you're not going to have to necessarily do nail pops straight away to be able to demonstrate it to people. Now I'm going to continue wearing my Gel 2 that I've applied while I'm doing this tutorial, and I'm going to see if I can get it to last more than my 4 to 5 days with CND shellac. Now that is the regular case with me with my CND shellac. It's not unusual every time I apply it bar one in the last year, I do get some chipping or lifting within 5 days. So this is going to be a good trial. It's going to be quite a quick trial for me to be able to turn around to you in 5 days' time and say, yes, it has chipped, or no, it hasn't. With regards to how my nails feel with it on, they feel incredibly sturdy. Now, I have got damage from just below the free edge up on each of these nails from when I was very naughty and didn't look after them properly. And I'm growing that out at the moment, but they feel really strong. The other thing I'd say is when you're applying your C&D shellac normally, you have to be very careful about a little line, almost like a spare tire you can get of shellac build-up, that can affect the line of light when you move your hands. I didn't find this a problem at all with the Gel 2. It almost seems to self-level once you've applied it, and that's probably where the gel aspect of it does come in. And I think it's also down to the viscosity of it, that while it's a slightly thicker one, it's thicker in an intuitive way. And I know I keep saying that, but I think that's the best way to describe my first impression of it, is that it seems to know that where you apply it, it's to stay there. It's not to move around and things like that. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and review of the Gel 2 Foggy London collection and my first impressions of it. Okay, thanks very much for watching, and I look forward to coming back to you in a few days.